Hi, I'm JD, and what we're going to be doing today is simplifying these rational expressions. So if you would, pause the video and see if you can try to do these ones on your own. Alright, so let's start with the first one. With the first one, what you want to do is you just want to factor the numerator and denominator, the top part and the bottom part. Now, you won't be able to simply just cancel out the x squared with the x squared. Why? Good question. Because they're separated by minus signs and plus signs. You can only cancel out factors with factors. Let me give you an example. If I have, let's say, 12 over 15, now is that the same as saying 2/5? Well, how'd you get that? Well, I subtracted the top and the bottom by 10. You're like, what? It's fractions. You don't simplify a fraction by subtracting. You either multiply or divide the top and the bottom by whatever number you want, except for 0. So you wouldn't do that. What you would do is that you would divide, right? What number goes in both 12 and 15? 3. So 3 goes into 12 4 times. 3 goes into 15 5 times. So this would be 4/5. Right? You see how I can only cancel out factor with factors? Right? 3 is a factor of both the 12 and the 15. So you can only do that. Same thing with trinomials or binomials. You can only cancel out factors with factors. So what do you have to do first? You have to factor. So how do you factor x squared minus 9x plus 14? Set up your parentheses. Your first is going to be this times this, which is x times x. Now, since there's only one here, it makes it kind of easy. So what times what will give me 14? Then when add together, right, because it's a plus sign, if it was a minus sign, you'd be looking for a difference. So what plus what will give me 9, and then when multiplied together will give me 14. Right, minus 7 minus 2. I kind of reversed it, but it doesn't matter when you're dealing with multiplication. And then the bottom, how would I factor that? That only has 2 terms. Well, when it has 2 terms, most likely it's in what's called a special product. And this special product is a difference of squares. Right? X is a square. 49 is a square. What's the square root of x squared? Yeah, that's x. So you put an x here and x here. What's the square root of 49? Yes, that's right. It's 7. And then one's going to have a plus. The other one's going to have a minus. And now what's going to cancel out? Whatever they have in common, right? So the x minus 7 is going to cancel out with the x minus 7. It's like having 3 over 3, right? Those 3's cancel out. Right? If I have 4 times 3 and then 5 times 3, right? 3 over 3 is 1, and that just leaves me with 4 over 5. You see that? So you're going to do the same thing here. And so once you cancel that out, you just put whatever you have left. And what you have left is x minus 2 over x plus 7. That's it for this expression. So let's do this one. Now, instead of starting with the top, let's start with the bottom. So the bottom is easier to factor. Alright, what times what will give me 4, and then when add together, gives me the negative 4. Right, 2 and 2. So it would be x, is it going to be x plus 2 or x minus 2? Right, it's going to be x minus 2 for both of them. And you can always check by doing the inner and the outer. Right, negative 2 times x gives you a negative 2x. And then the outer, negative 2 times x gives you another negative 2x. When you add those together, that gives you a negative 4x. So that actually works out. Now with the top, that gave me a little hint on what's going on. Probably one of the parentheses is going to be x minus 2. And then the other set of parentheses, it has to be 3x plus 1. Let's see that's true by calculating the inner and the outer, because the inner and the outer gives you my middle term. So what's 3x times the negative 2? Right, that's my outer, so that's a negative 6x. What's my inner? Right, that's 1x. And when I add those two guys together, that gives me the negative 5x, which I need. So I factor this out correctly. What's going to cancel out here? Right, the x minus 2, because they have the x minus 2 in common. So you just cross those off, and then you're left with whatever's, well, left. So that's going to be 3x plus 1 over x minus 2. And that's how you factor and simplify expressions like